Alright, hey guys. Today we're going to talk about Legends of Runeterra. And we're going to talk about Legends of Runeterra with our eyes on the differences between champion designs. So basically we're going to talk about some of the updates and modernizations that Legends of Runeterra have done to champions and their base designs. And just kind of take a quick look at each of them and whether or not they're good, what they improve, if they're bad, and all that stuff. So we're going to try to go through it relatively quickly. This is not going to be in depth. But I realized, so I already went through some of these champions, but I realized I was taking too long with them. So that's why we're doing this a little bit quicker, right? So we are going to go from 1 mana and up and just take a look at the ones that are different from the base designs, right? So quickly I want to talk about Kennen first. And I want to talk about Kennen first because the main thing that's been updated is just his texture, really. And then his ears, right? So Kennen is very much, that's not how you spell that. Kennen is very much the same. The only thing they did was get rid of the stupid ass ears with the robes around them. Not robes, sorry, rope. The rope around it. And instead just modernize it, give it a nice texture. That's really nice. It fits really well and it's very good looking. We have Annie, who has a great modernization because now it actually looks like she fits into the world, right? She's got a very an outfit that could actually go as being medieval, right? Pass as being medieval. Her headband also, besides looking like looking lower quality, like produced, and also therefore being like plausible as being medieval, she's got the, or rather the cat ears look a lot more like demonic horns, which is really cool. And in her level 2, we have Annie with a school uniform. And that's just nice too, because it just fits into the world. And that's all we really need from these Legends of Runeterra modernizations. We just need them to do stuff like this. We need them to update their outfits. We need them to make small changes that make them fit better and tell their story a little bit better and maybe expand upon their story like with Annie, right? That's all we need. Just to bring Annie up quickly. This is what this abomination looks like. It's a mixture of a bunch of weird styles that don't really make sense and some weird modern fashion. And apparently she's wearing heavy makeup with proportions that don't really make any sense. Thankfully, we also got rid of the makeup here. Well, to a degree, right? We'll skip all these. We'll also skip Elise and then go straight to Jax. Because Jax was revealed before before Jax was reworked in League of Legends, right? The reason that's important is because a lot of people really liked how this looked compared to old Jax. Now, to me, a big part of what Jax was, and actually still is, but the design doesn't tell it as well as the old one, I think, at least like the concept. What Jax was a mysterious, old, wise master with a larger-than-life personality. And the trope he's inhabiting, or the trope is literally the mysterious master that you'll find on your way, right? And the fact that he has a larger-than-life personality, it plays into, or rather, actually, that's also a part of the trope, but the way it's executed with Jax is pretty unique. And for that personality, it kind of makes sense to show off himself, right? However, the issue is that he still very much was the character that is the lone master that comes walking down the road when you least expect it, then he beats you the fuck up, and then he just goes on with his day. And with his hood over his head, as old Jax had, he was mysterious. With his sleeves, he was mysterious because you couldn't make out what he was. Now you can make out what he is a lot better. And I think it hurts the character. I think it's much more beneficial for him to have his hood up and to have sleeves. And if this design had those, I think it would be perfect. But because it doesn't, I don't think so. I also don't think the gold accents actually work for him. Even if they do tie him to Shurima, I don't actually think it works. Just because of the aesthetic of old Jax and what he really kind of, the feelings and the vibes he gave off, I don't feel like it works. Also because he has to be mysterious, and or rather he was mysterious, and you're not really supposed to be able to relate to him, and this makes him a little more relatable, right? So I'm not a big fan of this either. I like this one better than I like this. The only argument against having like heavy clothes on is that he comes from a desert, but I don't think that's a very good argument, because in desert you also wear robes to make sure that you protect yourself from the sun, right? So would have liked him to keep the hood on. What's the next one we have? Master Yi. Okay, so this is one of the ones that's really fucking good. And this is where it's basically just a full-on rework, right? This is just so good in every way. I mean, it looks very Ionian, all of it. Some of it is a little bit weird, like why is this chest plate like this? Doesn't really make sense. But to me, it's not really important that it does make sense. He is after all about being like basically the Flash when it comes to combat, right? So it's not really that necessary. He has a lot of insect iconography going on, which is kind of interesting, and a lot of like leaf related stuff, right? And that's really nice because it ties him to nature a lot, and it also shows off his speed, and specifically the way this stuff is made also ties him very much to Ionia. And it just fits into like the image of him being another wise master, right? In his level 2, he's wearing his helmet, and we see him in combat where he also has like all of these different pieces of his I don't know what you would call that, like his, the fuck is that called? It's not a difficult word. His coat, there we go. I think that's what you'd call that, right? I don't know, is it? I don't know. It's a fucking dress. It's a dress. His dress mimic the wings of an insect, right? His face, or rather his helmet, mimics it. Even his ponytail mimics it, right? And it just fits well because like it's a really speedy thing. He's kind of like a wasp, right? You can also see it on the blade he has at his hip, right? That's like a wasp's stinger. Amazing design, really good, and we should have this in main League of Legends. It's exactly what Master Yi should look like. Really good. So this is the first one that's genuinely insanely good, and something that we should have ported, and something that we should take as being, you know, that's Master Yi. We can be satisfied with this. The other ones of the characters that are bad, like Annie as an example, I won't accept Annie yet. I won't accept Annie as just this yet. I think she needs more. And I think Master Yi is the first champion that gives us something where we get to a point where it's acceptable, in my opinion, where you've actually allowed designers to have some freedom and to do what they want, and to actually try and make him like generally design-wise compelling in the world. In a way that I don't think these other characters have managed. Jax generally, he is close just because Jax as a base design is so interesting and unique. I think there's so many things that go wrong with this, but Jax as a baseline just works. This works a lot better than this, I feel, but even then could be a lot cooler, I think, if he just had the hood and the sleeves. And I think it actually does so much for him that it could elevate him to like this level of design. But he's not far off, right? So it's not that big of an issue. Then the next one is Seraphine. And Seraphine I'm not going to talk too much about. Generally, she's bad, and this design doesn't save her, despite what everyone says, because they see the smallest change to her to make her kind of work in the world, and they just go like, fuck, oh my god, she's saved, that's great. Seraphine is finally an actual champion. She makes sense now. She doesn't. I hate to break it to you. If you like Seraphine, that's fine. I'm not here to rip that from you. But she doesn't work in the world. She's not made to have any lore or any reason to she's not actually made with that in mind. No one cared about that when they thought up Seraphine. We all know why she exists. She's a Star Guardian KDA self-insert original character who's meant to appeal and earn money. The only interesting thing about her was the fact that she was abusive and kind of psychotic towards the Bracken because she knew they were alive at the time. And then that was removed, even though it made her a really, really cool villain. Giving her an actual Piltover outfit does not save her in any way. It looks stupid anyway because it follows the base design, but like sure it could pass as being Piltover. But it just doesn't work. She doesn't work in general. She's a pop star in a medieval fantasy world. There's so much wrong with it. And like, sure, it's at least in Piltover and Zorn where it could kind of make sense. But Piltover and Zorn is generally kind of like disconnected from the rest of the world. But this goes too far. There is a way to actually execute Seraphine. It's quite difficult, but I do believe there's a way to do it. I might go into that in another video some other time. But this is not it. It's just not it. This isn't good. We shouldn't accept this. We should accept Master Yi. We should be happy about that. We shouldn't be happy about Seraphine. Even, like, okay, small changes. We can be happy about that, but we shouldn't accept this is what I'm trying to say. Cillian, onto a much better topic. Oh my god, Cillian, my boy, what did they do to you? This is perfect too. This is so great. Like, he had the clock on his back and they reworked that completely, but still kept in the whole deal of what it's meant to be, which is showing alternate timelines being somewhat time related. And it's just, it's so nice. It's so nice. There's some very Shuriman aesthetics going on because, well, that's basically what he is, almost. His clothes make a lot more sense. He looks like a powerful wizard. He's very downplayed, and there are some things that are like, couldn't you have done something more with him? But that's not necessary. It's not necessary to make him a competent design. And this just does it. Like no more than this is necessary to make him really good, but he could potentially use some more to truly elevate him beyond, truly make him an S tier champion, right? I don't believe he's quite there, but I do believe that he's in the same group of champions as Master Yi is, in that this is what we want from Cillian. Right, this is our Cillian. This is Cillian. The one in League of Legends is not fucking Cillian, right? Let me just pull up Master Yi and fucking... Look at this is Master Yi, and this is Cillian, right? The versions we have in this game, so much better. Very, very nice. Then we have Caitlyn. And Caitlyn was from before the ASU, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Her base design compared to her original design, it's a lot better, right? It's a lot better, but it's just a modernization, and it's fine. Her level 2 is also pretty good. It's a little bit difficult to make out exactly her outfit, but it's generally good. It's good. She's got like the special forces police, special police force, special secret intelligence thing going on. It's really cool. It's really cool, and it works for her. I do think that Arcane executed everything Caitlyn much better than anything else that Riot has ever done. But it's good. It's good. We do have Arcane Caitlyn, however, so that's gotta be that's the real Caitlyn, right? Not only because of the lore, but also just because that's the one that looks the best. As specifically, let me just bring it up. To me, this is the Caitlyn that actually matters. This is the Caitlyn that is the cool champion. This is the Caitlyn that's the cool champion, right? This is the one where she's on par with something like, and you could argue this point, but I think this is the Caitlyn that's on par with something like the design of, I don't want to say Bard because he's better, but she gets really high up, like the levels of design with her commander concept, right? It does have some issues, but she gets really high up, and this one does not beat that, unfortunately. Then we have LeBlanc, and we've already talked a little bit about LeBlanc, but people really like this, and some of them are even sad that this is not what we get in League. But once again, just the same as with the one we just discussed, Caitlyn. Yeah, I had to check. Shut up. Just as with Caitlyn, this is just a modernization. This isn't trying anything interesting. Well, it is trying some interesting stuff, but it's not doing anything really unique from scratch. It's not really, it's not trying that hard because it can't. It wasn't allowed to, I don't think. Or maybe they just decided that they didn't really want to do too much different. They wanted to test this. There are some nice things about it, but ultimately it isn't perfect at all. This new LeBlanc is what we should strive towards. The new LeBlanc is what we should want from LeBlanc. This is not it. It's too similar. Still got some of the bad stuff going on. It's too uninteresting in a lot of ways. Even though she's got the outfit like with the headpiece going on, she still doesn't feel as important or as powerful magey as she really is, right? So I don't think people should want this in the first place. I think they should ideally want more. But nonetheless, this is a much better design than this is, right? Let's see what else we have here. Lux, we are just waiting for the day where she actually gets updated to kind of look like what she's really supposed to be. Misfortune. I'm not gonna talk too much about her. This outfit, generally speaking, is not really the type of character she is. Let's not talk too much about her. I suppose at least it's better than like a League of Legends version, I suppose, but it's nothing major either. Did they change much about you, Lulu? I don't think they did. There's some small stuff, but nothing big. Nami's a little bit interesting, but that's mostly because her followers are extremely well designed, not really because of herself. Oh, that looks a little bit weird. Rek'Sai doesn't really have anything new going on either. Riven, there we go. That's something we can talk about. So Riven is already kind of close to what she is in League of Legends, right? But this is, first of all, her armor piece is just straight up Noxian instead of this, right? Even though it has the Noxian insignia on it. It's just much more Noxian. This is actual Noxian stuff. This isn't really Noxian stuff. It's just painted on, right? I like the fact that it's like scratched off and it clearly hasn't been cared for. I think that's really good. A little bit iffy about us losing that. I don't know why she would even wear the Noxian armor in the first place, right? That's kind of where we are with Riven. I do like the face paint. I think that's kind of dope. I don't know why she would wear it outside of the Reckoning Pits and specifically battle. I suppose she is about to enter battle, but I don't think she was ready for it in advance. I don't remember the story, but I don't think she was. Maybe she was. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, that's... Regardless, if she was ready, sure, she's got the armor, sure, she's got the face paint. Maybe she would be a little more Ionian about it, because Ionia seems to find her and suit her really well. In her updated look, it's pretty much the same thing going on, right? The main thing with Riven is that she looks like she does, she did in the Awakened cinematic, right? And that Riven it's a little bit better than this one. It's not by much, but it's a little bit better, and it's a nice aesthetic that she had. Ultimately, I just sort of also made up with myself that it's just kind of the same as like stuff like Misfortune and some of the other characters that haven't really changed that much. So ultimately kind of unimportant. Don't think they did anything interesting with Soraka. They did not. We have Vayne with a Sentinel outfit. The Sentinel outfit is... It's really good. It shouldn't be a main outfit. It definitely shouldn't be a main outfit. She's not the type of person to join an organization and stay with it like this. She feels much more like, oh yeah, sure, I'm going to be a Sentinel and it's going to be a part of like my arsenal. But I'm not going to stick around because I don't want to hang out with those idiots. I have my mission and that's what I'm going to, you know, complete. And that's what I'm going to work towards. Not this, whatever it is. But if it does happen to be relevant, then I'll be a part of it temporarily. So I don't really think long term this works for her. But as like an alternate outfit and as like an alternate job, or like part-time job rather, sure, I think it works great. So 6, nothing really. They gave him a mustache and a goatee. I think that fits pretty well actually with the earring as well. I think it gives off a very interesting vibe with 6. That he didn't really have in League. And this is actually... I know this sounds stupid, but it's actually quite big for him. Because he never had the mustache, and he did kind of have the goatee, but... He had some skins that tried to explore it. Anyway, this is like a very specific kind of person. And I think it suits 6 really well. Even though it kind of doesn't even feel like him. But I think it suits him well. Let's not linger too much on him. Ash. Yeah, sure. They gave him they gave her some fur. Okay, great. That's sort of what they needed to do, right? Still update her design, make her better than this. But regardless, they did what they were supposed to do with modernization, right? Bard is generally great. He doesn't need anything from Legends of Frontera, Braun 2, Echo 2, Evelyn 2. Did they do anything interesting with Fiora? They did not. Nara is also himself. Let's take a look. Jack is very interesting because he's a unique champion to this place, right? And he's not even from the lore before Legends of Frontera compared to Nora, right? So that's... He's generally speaking very interesting. But we won't really be talking about him too much. Janna. Alright, so this is a unique thing. So Janna, I don't like what they did with her. I gotta be honest with you, I'll just say it already. I don't like it. Entire elf deal is fine. That's fine, that's who she is. Her hair is really well done. Her hair is well done. That's what it's supposed to be like, right? She's a wind goddess, so of course her hair would mimic the wind or interact with the wind in some way. This is kind of tornado-ish, right? Janna is very clearly Shuriman, a Shuriman goddess here. There's no reason for her to keep that aesthetic around. She's not a human, alright? She is not a human. She is wished upon by Sornite children here. There's no reason for her to dress Shuriman. She can just dress Sornite. If she's trying to appeal to the kids, then be a Sornite, right? Make them feel at home. Make them relate to you. You don't need to show this, or there's no reason. You don't... Janna, you yourself do not care about Shuriman aesthetics. You don't care about it. Oh, it's a part of your story. Yeah, but you're a goddess. You don't care. You care about your subjects and like the people that pray to you. And right now, that's not the Shuriman people. You don't care about this. This is an outfit for someone who actually care about how they dress. And you don't do that. You can have amulets and stuff like that, and just in general, you can have things adorned upon you and given to you by your, well, the people that pray to you, right? You can wear that to show that you care about what they do for you, and like just in general as like offerings and stuff like that. But you don't get to just wear an outfit just for fun because that makes you feel better. That doesn't make any sense. Let's just pull up Janna, actually. So she has the tiara thing going on. Okay. And they sort of remade it just to floating crystals. Yeah, sure. The staff is a little bit weird, but it was already weird. It was always weird as well, so it's fine. There's no issues here, even though I actually, it looks a little bit too much like an artifact and a little bit too little like a godlike staff to conjure its power, like the goddess's power, right? Then we have level 2 Janna, and a lot of stuff is really good. She's got the halo going on with like the sun streaks. She's got the tornado hair. She's got the very eldritch, biblically accurate angel thing going on. She's got multiple wings. She's got the crow, or not the crow, but like the bird feet, and the feathers going on. I don't think this is Janna that much. And my issue is not that she's eldritch. or that she's a biblically accurate angel or whatever. Oh, she's not, but like she goes that route, right? I don't mind she goes that route. My main issues are just that I don't feel like this is Janna. I don't mind that she could be Eldritch. Like, sure, you could do that with Janna, but this doesn't feel like Janna to me. There are many ways it doesn't feel like Janna. Janna is much more about interacting with the wind than she's about specifically being a bird. Well, that's a little bit wrong. Like her I think her animal form is literally just a bluebird, right? Just like how the Freljordian demigods, they have animal forms. We don't know if they have human forms, but they most likely do. I mean, that Janna is the reverse, right? She runs around in her human form, but she does have like a godlike form, and I think a godlike form should be much more like something like Ornn, Volibear, and Anivia, right? Whereas her human form should be a lot more ethereal and a lot more godlike, and a lot less. I'm a Shuriman Guardian, you know. It looks like the skin that she has. She has so much fucking shit. The Guardian of the Sands. This is what, like that's what it looks like. It's not what you are, Jenna. Go away. All right. That's a little bit much with Janna. On to something much better. Oh my god, Nidalee. Save me, baby. This is so fucking so dope. Oh my god, this is so fucking good. So good. Holy shit, this is so fucking insane. We love it. We absolutely love it. This is so good. So good. Jesus Christ, it's so good. Nico's terrible. By the way, we can talk about that another time. But like in comparison, fuck Nidalee, you just slay that shit so bad. My god, Nidalee, you are perhaps even beyond Master Jensalian. But you at least, like, you get to be in the same category as them. Fuck, you're amazing. We love Nidalee. Then we will, should we talk about him? No, we should not. Rumble. Rumble's pretty interesting. I love his new lore, at least his new gang or whatever, and the entire thing he has going on with the arenas and stuff like that. I think that's super cool. They've improved the mech dramatically. Like, they've improved the mech so much. It looks so much better. The issue with Rumble is still that it's fucking ugly, and it's kind of supposed to be ugly, so that's not by itself like a big issue. But we should expect more from a Rumble update than this. We should expect not that the mech becomes beautiful or really fucking dope and cool and edgy. We should rather expect it to just look a lot better than this and be more interesting. Alright. Where the base one is kind of like, it's really interesting in some ways, where it's like, why is it so ugly, and like, what is even going on? How does it work? It makes no sense. It's just unappealing to look at. And that's, however, also why it should be updated. But it has some really interesting and really wacky things going on that fits Rumble really well. So that should definitely be kept, but I don't think that this Rumble is the perfect iteration that the champion could become, right? Next on, we have... Let's take a look. We can talk about Veigar having his mech. Generally, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. This is very funny, and it's nice. And we like that he has the minions as his minions. That's funny too, right? Veigar is the type of character who would actually do this. And also, clearly, they, like, the Yordles do actually create mechs, proven by Rumble. So yeah, sure, it fits him. It fits him to have this. To have this thing. It fits him. And it's really cool. It's very Mickey Mouse Disneyland adjacent in some ways. which is really cool because he's got the haunted evil house thing going on as well. It just fits him well. It's nice. Actually, I'll put this pretty high up too. I don't know if Vega himself is really perfect because he kind of is what he's supposed to be, right? But I feel like he could be updated to be a lot more interesting, and therefore I won't give this a pass, but I'll give this one a massive pass. Like, that's so great, and that's so fun. Garen's new armor looks fucking amazing. It looks like what it's supposed to be. That's really good. Kaiser level 2 looks really cool. Still a little bit too much, you know, hot super babe going on, but nonetheless, the level 2 is still really cool. Kale looks somehow even worse. I don't know how you did it. She already looks kind of terrible because her design is bad. I'll talk about that some other time too, because a lot of people might really like Kale. And there are good reasons to like Kale, trust me, there are. And I'll go into those too. So it's not unjustified to like her, but her design is pretty bad from my opinion. Kane also doesn't work. I've already spoken about why. At least what they did to him. Yeah, talked about Lux. This Morgana outfit is much better than the one she has in League. And it's not... The funny thing is, the Morgana we have in League is actually better than the Kale we have in League. And yet, they were like, we gotta do something about Morgana. And they did something about Morgana, and she's better now. So it's like, okay, so you made Morgana better, but we still have Kale. Yeah. It's a little bit off. Quinn, very basic changes, but they work really well, and she's really nice looking. Trundle's quite interesting. Nothing too crazy going on. Udyr is like, okay, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. It's like, okay, you've got this main version, and then you've got Spirit God Udyr, right? And both of them are really, really, really great. And then you have this middle point, which is just, it's just really weak in my opinion. And yeah, sure, it's supposed to be a middle point, but I think you could design a more compelling middle point too. But it's not that important. Vive lad. Yeah, sure. Okay, Malphite. Not that many big changes. He still kind of looks really, really stupid. What Malphite needs is to actually look like he was a part of the structure that, well, he was made of. And then, yeah, just give him some more interesting silhouette language. And make him look like what he's supposed to be. And then he's pretty much perfect, right? It's not difficult to make. Well, it's a little difficult to make him perfect, but this isn't even trying. This is just being like a rock golem. Like, there's not even a second thought to it. We're putting him in Targon as well, which is funny. Not that he doesn't travel to Targon necessarily, but more like he doesn't look like what he's supposed to be. It's bad. It's bad. Mordekaiser doesn't work as well as his main design in League of Legends. It does have some cool things going on with it. I do think the helmet is better than most people do. But I think he's trying to be a little too Noxian compared to the fact that... I mean, can't really blame that too much, right? He made the Immortal Bastion. Right, sure. Okay, he made the Immortal Bastion. There's no... Yeah, whatever. He's as Noxus Noxian as Noxus gets. It's fine. He's supposed to be that. I don't think the chest piece works at all for him. I think it looks really stupid. This is also the first place where Nautilus became a huge fuck all super mega mecha. And I think that at the time I didn't think that worked for him. I still think it's weird with like his proportions and what he's supposed to be. Like he said, like I'm just gonna put this into perspective. Even if you like Nautilus, I'm sorry I'm going to ruin him a little bit for you now. He's a diving suit, and you know that already. But now think about it. He's a diving suit that is hundreds of meters tall. He's a diving suit. He has ropes around his hand and his anchor. Ropes that are thicker than the mast of ships. And that in itself, okay, you might, like the biggest structures on the planet will probably use ropes like that. But this is even bigger than that. This is bigger than some small boats, I suppose. Like that is crazy big. And the anchor itself is also just like something you wouldn't see realistically. It's just so weird. And he needs a massive update to actually make him feel right as this massive titan that he is. So even though he is cool, even also as like a big character, originally I didn't like it, and I still don't really think it works for him, just because it's not really what not really what he's intended to be, and what his design sort of tries to even show, right? Yeah, it's weird. Okay, that's it. Perfect. Okay, that wasn't too long. It's 42 minutes. It's fun. Wait, owned? Oh, fuck. Wait. How do I fucking stupid? What is going on? Where's champion? Oh, right here. Okay. There's no champion that I haven't got. Great. Okay. Now, there are a few more champions, right? Because they are exclusively a part of the Path of Champions. And which ones are they? It's Fiddlesticks, Warwick. Then it is Ambessa. I think that's it. Just see if I can find this. Yeah, Warwick, Fiddlesticks, and Ambessa. Sure. Let's see if we can take a look at them. Sure. I don't know why you would. There's so much about, like, why would you do Ambessa like this? Makes no sense to me. It's not very compelling. But yeah, sure. I mean, it's whatever. And the other two characters are just themselves, and themselves are really, really good, so there's no reason to change that. Right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope we learned something. What we did learn, or rather, if I am to sum it up, Master Yi from Legends of Runeterra. Who else was it? Fuck, I can't even remember. We just went over one of them, didn't we? Oh my god. Nidalee was one of them, I remember now. Yeah, and Cillian. Nidalee, Cillian, and Yi are the three champions where they reach a level of design that is actually really good, and the level of design that we should expect and which we should chase from Riot themselves. And something that reaches like the upper echelons of you know, tiers within the League of Legends roster ratings. Then we have the unique one, the sore thumb, which is Gianna, who also got a massive redesign, but even though it's miles better than this, I still cannot accept it because it just doesn't work for me. And it's not only because of the human form, but also because of the god form. I think that there are very, very many concept arts for Janna redesign made by fans, or rather, yeah, fan concepts, right? Which are miles better than this. And I think that you should ideally take a bunch of the different things that other people have come up with and try and merge it into one coherent design that feels really good. This doesn't do it for me. All right, thank you so much for watching.